Previously on My Merry Messy Life.
Hey everybody, welcome to Munich!
In my head, in my arms, I can't shake the feeling. Put my hand on my heart. You're my light through the dark. You keep me believing, thanking my lucky stars. Everywhere I go, a little bit of love makes it feel right. Little bit of love waking me up, making the sunshine. Little bit of love from up above, taking me so high. Little bit of love, can't get enough, won't you be mine?
So we got Rinde Braten. I got a Braten when we had our anniversary in Reitenwinkel.
So definitely, I would say so far, Hirschgarten is our favorite. Our kids are having a lot of fun. This is awesome. We fight.
Turning me red, knock me off my toes. 'Cause what I need most is a little bit of love makes it feel right. Little bit of love waking me up, making the sunshine. Little bit of love from up above, taking me so high. Little bit of love, can't get enough, won't you be mine? Little bit of love. Little bit of love. Little bit, all we need. Little bit, so clear to see it. Little bit.
So our first two videos of Munich were all about seeing Munich through the eyes of our children. Today's video is more about us adults. So maybe go grab a glass of wine, particularly a German wine, or pour yourself a glass of a good Weissbier and sit down and enjoy this adults tour of Munich. I'm going to take you on a short walking tour through the Altstadt, or the old town of Munich. If you've got only a few hours to spend in Munich, this is the video for you. I did all of this on foot by myself, and it took 1 hour to visit each of these beautiful historical sites. But this is by no means a comprehensive tour of the Altstadt. There are still many things I did not get on camera or go inside that you can explore as well. So after the kids had their ice cream, they were very tired and they wanted to go back to the hostel. So Kevin took them back and I stayed for another hour with my camera to explore the Altstadt on foot, which is really easy to do in Munich with the pedestrian-only streets. So first I went to the famous Frauenkirche. This is the Cathedral of Our Lady. The beautiful towers of this church have been the landmark of the city of Munich for many centuries and can be seen from Marienplatz. The church construction was started in 1468 and completed in 20 years, which was very fast for that time. One of the things you'll see when you enter is the devil's footprint. Legend has it that the devil himself made a deal with the architect that he would not construct any windows to celebrate darkness. When the devil returned to survey the building progress, he was excited to see there were no windows at first, so he stomped his foot on the ground with glee. But then he took one more step forward and saw the windows that had been blocked by the towers. So out of anger, he turned into wind to try and destroy the church, and a breeze can still be felt in the entryway today. Isn't that a funny legend? I didn't expect this church to be as big as it is. It's very long and cavernous, and more minimalistic compared to other Gothic cathedrals I've seen. So here you see a monument commemorating the Wittelsbach dynasty, who ruled Bavaria from 1180 to 1918, and a younger brother in Greece from 1832 to 1862. Even today, Greece still retains the blue and white flag from Bavaria. I don't know about you, but I never knew that the Greek flag was related to the Bavarian flag. That's so cool. Other branches of this family even ruled in Sweden, Hungary, Denmark, and Norway. So I came out of the Frauenkirche and started walking around the town. You really get to see all of the locals out and about, especially on a Sunday. I was there on a Sunday, enjoying their afternoon, you know, eating and drinking and hanging out with friends and children running around. And it was just had such a great vibe. So I walked through the shopping area where you can see Louis Vuitton and Tiffany and all of your high fashion brands. So it's a really posh, fun part of Munich. You walk through the shopping area to the palace and the State Opera House. So the palace, or the Munich Residenz, was a residence and seat of government for the Bavarian dukes, electors, and kings from 1508 to 1918. So it was there for a long time. Over the centuries, the princes transformed a castle, which was in the northeast corner of the city's fortifications, into the splendid ruler seat that you see today. They extended the courtyards and gardens and everything. It's an absolutely massive complex. Sadly, in the Second World War, it was severely damaged, but they have reconstructed it since. It can take 2 to 3 hours to see the whole palace if you do the tour, because it is so enormous. So then I walked back towards Marienplatz and came upon St. Peter's Church. So St. Peter's is not only one of the most famous churches in Munich, but is also one of the top attractions in the state capital. You can climb up the 300 stairs in one of the towers to get a fantastic view of the city. It dates back to the 12th century. However, it was almost completely destroyed in the Second World War. The reconstruction took many decades and was completed in the year 2000. The Baroque altar is one of Munich's art treasures. It dates back more than 300 years. It is the oldest parish church in Munich with the oldest bells. So I continued walking right around the outside of Marienplatz and came upon the Holy Spirit Church, or the Heilig-Geist Kirche. This church was by far my favorite. I love the colors and the decor of the Baroque period. I just found this church to be so bright and cheerful with such exquisite paintings and architectural details. I stayed for a long time and really enjoyed looking at all the details. So this is the oldest hall church in Munich. Apparently there's hall churches and parish churches. This is the oldest hall church. The chapel was mentioned for the first time in 1250. It then became a hospital. In 1327, it was destroyed by a fire that also destroyed many other parts of Munich, and it was reconstructed by 1392. It was redesigned in the 18th century to the Baroque design that we see today, which are the colors that I love. However, it was once again badly damaged in the Second World War, and reconstruction started in 1946. I then made my way back to Marienplatz to take the S-Bahn back to our hostel. But first, you'll see the Spielzeug Museum, which is actually the original town hall of Munich. It is more than 400 years old. The current Gothic town hall, the Rathaus, that dominates the town square and is the most famous part of Munich, many people think that that was built first because it looks so old. But it was actually built between 1867 and 1909, many hundreds of years later after the original Rathaus was built. So the Glockenspiel was added to the town rather recently, as far as history goes, in 1908. It has 43 bells and 32 life-sized figures. It is actually the largest Glockenspiel in Germany and the 4th largest in Europe. It reenacts 2 events from Munich's history, one of which was from 1568. It's a night tournament held in honor of Duke Wilhelm V with his wife Renata of Lorraine on Marienplatz. The second is called a Schäfflertanz. Schäffler is an archaic German word for the barrel maker guild. Between 1515 and 1517, the Black Death came to Munich, but after the disease passed, no one wanted to leave their houses. So the barrel makers donned their colorful clothes in order to lure the frightened citizens back out onto the streets. So this is super cool. Even today, the Schäffler will perform the same dance every 7 years on Marienplatz. The last time it was done was in 2019. So we've got to wait till 2026 for the next performance and watch the Glockenspiel at the same time. Maybe we can get back for that. That sounds so cool. I hope you enjoyed this short walking tour of Munich. If you haven't already seen the first 2 videos in this series of what our children thought of Munich, I'll have them linked in the description box below. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your comments, likes, and subscriptions. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Tschüss!